Hey everyone, DJ Allison Drini here. I'm doing a video that I hope is going to help new people to the Porsche 911 Cup Car. Now this thing it's quite the beast. It's a wicked car that wants you completely dead at all times, and you have a smile on your face while it's trying to do it. This is a practice session for the Grid Life iRacers. We are doing a season of Porsche Cup Cars with Mike's Harder Lemonade, or I think they just call it Mike's Harder now. But they're jumping on board for the season and helping us with the cost that it takes to run a season of Grid Life iRacers. And I thought I would put together a video that would help everyone who is coming from the Miata or slower cars, or maybe even help somebody who just loves the car and has never really put the time into it. But we're gonna jump into this. This is just I did a couple laps in the session that was open, and we're gonna go over some things that I think make the car easier to use. First thing first, the brakes are super tricky, as I'm sure you guys have noticed if you've taken any time to drive the car yet. And one of the things that I want you guys to do is come in here and set a brake bias. So you go to options, controls, brake bias. Now you want to set one that sets it forward and back. The higher the number is, that means the more to the front the brakes are going. Now, how do you know where to set the brakes? Now, everybody's going to trail the car differently into corners, right? If you're dragging the inside front tire, this is the outside front tire, but if you're dragging the tire on corner entry, then you're going to want to shift some of the brake bias back. If the thing is dancing around on corner entry, like just braking in a straight line and it seems like it wants to loop around, then you're going to want to move some brake bias to the front. And there's a happy medium somewhere in there how you drive it. If it's still looping around and you're not dragging, and you're also dragging your inside front tire on corner entry, it's most likely the driver. Now, a lot of this video is going to be on the brakes because this car that's the thing that makes it so tough is the brake pedal. So around 70%, 60 to 70%, that is maximum braking for the car. You brake any more than that, you're going to be locking up tires. So we're at 70%. You can even hear it on the tires themselves. Let's see if we can get a nice view here. I'm going to turn up the tire noise. And you're going to be able to listen to the tires as they start to lock up. They make a very specific sound. We're going to listen for that. So you hear the tires make like a little bit of a scrubby noise. They did it twice there. I'm not entirely sure how well that's going to show up in the video. But basically, fighting with controls here. Basically, that's what we're aiming to stay away from that. That's kind of like the warning sign. And unfortunately, I have low fuel here, so we can't see the lights. But there's a little yellow light that pops up. We'll see if we can find that right here. So you see on the bottom of the dash right here, we're going to go slow motion. You'll see it lights up. That means that you're having the rears lock. And then also, let's see if we can get a double whammy here. You can see if the inside front is locking up here. There'll be another light up in the top right. Not sure. My hand's in the way now. Nope. Never saw it. But if you're locking up the front right, you'll see lights up here as well. And that's going to let you know that you're locking that tire, or the tire is slipping or something along those lines. Now, those only show up on the brakes, not anything to do with the throttle. So there's two things that help this car turn. It's a tiny bit of brake and the throttle. Now, you have to be gentle on both of those, especially when the car is loaded up. You see how we're holding brake all the way to the apex, and then we're immediately in throttle. That's the sweet spot of this car. is you just need to give those front tires a little something the whole way through. And then you can start easing into throttle. The car will set, pivot, and then you're just chasing the rear tires to the edge of the track, wherever the rear tires are going. If the rear tires are moving too fast, you probably have too much throttle in the car. If you're not chasing the rear tires at all, you can put more throttle in the car. And that's kind of the dance you're playing. So corner entry, you're playing the just about to lock up the tire dance. And now you're playing the I don't want to lock up the inside front tire, but I also want to shift some weight to the front of the car on entry. And then you start easing weight to the rear of the car. You start throwing throttle as the weight has set. And now you're just chasing the rear tires to the edge of the racetrack. And that's the dance. That's the dance that we play with the 911 Cup Car. That's overly simplified, I know, but every corner is basically coming down to that. Dragging brakes, throttle, chase the rear of the tires to the edge of the track, and then just have a blast through the S's. I think I lift over the right-hand crest a little bit just because the tires spin up and get a little deadly. Yep, see, just a little lift. It only turns, or it turns the best when it's either on the brakes or on the throttle. So you're kind of blending those things together. When you're just neutral off the throttle and the brake and turning the car, it does not turn very well. Let's see, what else could help people figure this car out here? I think, honestly, the hardest part about the car is just the brake pedal. You need to realize very quickly that the car has more performance than the brakes have. And you're going to back all brake markers up. You're going to be super gentle into the brakes. You're going to fish for that 60 to 70% range. And right here we might see some inside lockup. You see right there how it flicked? You see the lights, how they'll flicker on? Watch, we're going to slow-mo. See, inside lockup. Maybe see it right here? Nope. Oh, this is me almost just dying through the corner. But yeah, I think the moment you get your head around that the brakes have less performance than the rest of the car, it's going to go a lot better for you. And you just get to that 60-70%, slow the car down, give it some trail in, move the weight cautiously to the rear, start applying throttle, chase the rear to the edge of the track. If there's any questions, just leave them in the comments of the video or on the comments of the Grid Life iRacer Facebook thread that I'm going to throw this into. If you're watching this YouTube video and you have no idea what Grid Life iRacers are, get on Facebook, type in Grid Life iRacers. That's a league and me and a couple buddies run. We have over 1,000 members right now. Like I've said, we have Mike's Harder on board, and this season's going to be intense. And if you want to see some of the races we've done in the past, head over to the Grid Life's YouTube channel. It's just Grid Life, GRIDLIFE, and check out some of the shows that we've put on there. We've had 120 Miatas fight for 60 spots, and then that 60 spots fights 40 spots in a heat race. And the level of talent is insane, and it is a blast, and I want everybody to be a part of it. So head over to Grid Life iRacers on Facebook and sign up. It's going to be a fun time. All right, DJ Alessandrini out. Thanks for watching.